Hey guys, Chris here. June is here, which means two things: a look forward at the next 3 months in War of the Visions Global, and Top Gun Maverick is finally here because, hey, there's nothing sexier than Tom Cruise in the cockpit of a fighter jet. Well, except maybe Tom Cruise with oversized latex hands and a jungle full of chest hair. This is the summer of Cost 100. We have a slew of Cost 100 units coming down the assembly line. We have Leela the Bold, Sadali, Dark Fina, Queen Macherie, Revo Glaciella, who is just announced in JP. We also know that the next Final Fantasy collaboration will be Final Fantasy 13 with Lightning, Snow, and Hope coming right near the end of August. And of course, we have the rerun of Final Fantasy Tactics around the same time. I was beginning to wonder which would come first, the rerun of Final Fantasy Tactics or a Back to the Future reboot. And it's a good thing it's Tactics because Hollywood doesn't seem to have any good ideas left for reboots. And I really wasn't looking forward to a 60-year-old Michael J. Fox kissing his mom. The last thing before we jump in, put on your swim trunks, join me for the two newest summer units in War of the Visions Global. That's right, Summer Engelbert, Summer Frederica. We will have this custom Summer Vision card art on the Nerd Night set all summer long. The artwork was commissioned from the Reddit user Grassy Knoll, who is one of the artists that submitted artwork for a few of the Vision card contests in War of the Visions. You can see Engelbert with his Chocobo surfboard, Frederica with her Super Soaker squirt gun. Somehow the catchphrase squirt squirt kinda seems inappropriate here. Maybe just stick to bang bang. Well, maybe let's just move on. If you guys like the video, try the thumbs up and red button below. Let me know in the comments section below what you are looking forward to over the next 3 months in War of the Visions Global. First up, we have little Leela the Bold, out now in Global. It's hard not to like Leela no matter how many versions she gets in War of the Visions. Leela the Bold is pretty much a must-have for the Dark element. She's pretty much a one-for-one replacement for Dwayne on Dark teams and probably the tankiest unit that Dark has to date, which is definitely something that the element has needed for far too long. If you main Dark, it's time to pony up and get her. Combined with Dark Fina, who we will get to in a bit, you have pretty much two essential units for high-level Dark teams for the rest of the year, and don't try and tell me you needed whoever this is supposed to be, because you don't. Dark Chain Anima Vision card and Esper follows. Same rule here, if you main Dark, consider this a must-have. Slash resistance has quickly become one of the most vital Vision card buffs for PvP, especially in Global with Astrius, Elena, Esther, Cloud, and more. You also get 20 single target resistance. This goes a long way to increasing the staying power and survivability of Dark teams. Remember that this card is double cost. Some people did point that out to me last month, but I still think that it's almost a must-have if you want to be competitive in PvP, which means you have to commit the Visual to getting it. We can assume that Valentine Ildyra will hit the stage next, and I'm more lukewarm on her kit now. She's a fire evasion unit, but fire doesn't really have the best tools for evasion, and Ildyra certainly won't be better than Satya, King Mont, or Terra for the time being. Can she increase your options for fire teams? Certainly. Is she essential for fire? Hardly. For free to play that need to save up some Visual, even if you main fire, I do think that she's a pass. I will note that this looks to be a really good off week for a rerun of the summer units in Global, maybe even Master Ability 2s for all of these units. Sadly, Summer Ketone is well beyond help. Summer Lilith, she's much better for beach art than she is as an actual unit. Summer Kilfei is nice, but not really essential for light anymore. But Summer El Sorel is a powerful third unit when run with Celeste and Astrius in water teams. Elsie is probably the only one I'd be considering here for free to play. Final Fantasy X arrives in about a month's time, and the only new thing we get is the Valefor Vision card and Esper. Absolutely essential for light teams, magic resistance and magic attack on the card, Dark Killer for the inevitable matchups against Leela and Dark Fina in PvP. This will be all but required for light PvP teams in the near future, limited also, so you really do have to jump on this when it comes around. Tidus with Master Ability 2 is great, but I probably wouldn't be spending Visual to buff him up. He's a great piece for free-to-play players to build around for water teams. He's fairly cheap to build, and he should be free for everyone. Cecil. If you already main water, you'll probably have better options than Tidus, but certainly he's one of the best units to beef up your water roster for little to no cost. Definitely collect his shards during the event and slow build him, but again, leave your Vizor in your pocket. Yuna, I believe, is still the best support unit in War of the Visions. Bellis, probably a little more versatile at this point, but Yuna's Master Ability 2 masks one of her biggest weaknesses in long cast times and makes her far more snappy and effective. Love me some Yuna, especially for light teams, but really for any free-to-play account that's newer and maybe needs a really stable support unit. Auron, on the other hand, he's another story. Sadly, there's just too many non-limited ice slashers like Laswell, Gilgamesh, and Velric that do very similar things. Is Auron a good unit? Yes. Is he unique enough to justify tens of thousands of Vizor for budget players? No. Not even for all of you Frosty Ice mains out there. Suteki Dane is an oldie, but it's a goodie. Since the quote meta water team is all slashers, you definitely can't go wrong with slash attack, crit rate, and HP all on one card. Even if you just run Astrius, Celeste, and another third, you definitely should pick this up. Being a limited card, many players do express similar regrets to not maxing this card out the first time Final Fantasy X was around. It's a near must-have for water main accounts if we do get a step up in global. Sadali is a cost 100 wind magic and support unit. With the recent announcement of Revo Glaciella in JP and the presence of More the Merrier in global, I do think Sadali is a whole lot less necessary than he was in JP. You can pretty much build a strong magic 3 stack now with Leela and more, but ultimately Wind just has so many other options with strong evade, Pierce with Luartha and Revo Glassy, Joom. Sadali's just kind of extraneous if you already main Wind. Also, we can fully expect Sadali to come with a full 42k pity banner and no step up, so the cost benefit looks a whole lot more grim. The Sadali Vision card, on the other hand, is absolutely bonkers for Wind. AoE resistance is awesome, but 15% agility as well. This is the first Vision card since Laswell's Ice card last summer that I think all players should be picking up on the step up, whether or not you play Wind. As we did last month, I'll just let Jeff Goldblum explain why the agility bonus is so good.
Must go faster.
This is a must-have card for Wind. Consider for the future of your Wind team if you do main other elements right now. Eliza, seen here on her way to the Hunger Games, is totally unnecessary. She's not limited, she's not all that unique. There maybe is some interesting combos you can make with other ice ranged or pierce units. In the era of slash resistance, maybe you could get some use out of her, but she's much more of a filler unit in between collabs. She's an absolute pass. The Fruit of Life Vision card, and listen, any chance I get to see Mama Helena on a Vision card, and you're gonna put peaches all over the art, like where exactly is my mind supposed to go with this? But despite this juicy matriarchal goodness, the card just isn't that great. Slash resist is great, but it's only 20%, not 35%. Missile attack, not really the greatest bonus. This is kind of more of a collector's item than an essential piece for free-to-play and light spenders. Almost entirely a pass, though it does make me hungry for some Cobbler. Dark Fina, just yes. Yes, 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 give me dark versions of every single waifu in the game. She's just a must-have for dark teams moving forward, paired with Leela the Bold, tons of magic damage, self-revive, magic attack buffs, healing if you need it, Dispel on Runic against Celeste, yes, you heard that right. She's a lot like a More the Merrier type unit with a little bit more utility, far too much in her kit to like, and no reason to doubt it. Pair with Helena or Golbez if you're still using Joker. Like, seriously, start saving your Vizor now and bail yourself out with a cold drink of Majin Fina. Fina's Vision card is slightly less essential. Magic plus 50% you can get if you already have Ramuh. Dex plus 18%, kind of meh. Missile resistance, meh. Be on the lookout for the global upgrade on this card and what buffs it provides for Fina, but this still lands in the nice to have category if you already have Ramuh. certainly if you're a newer player who mains Dark, you can pick this up for your new toys. And the last of the cost 100 units this summer, Queen Macherie. Wait, an Earth unit? This has got to be a misprint. I thought War of the Visions was done releasing Earth units. Someone at Gumi probably really screwed up here. Intern Coon! Hey, Intern Coon! Queen Macherie in Global is one thing for sure. She is the Esther killer. Earth magic did need a little bump like Lindsay Lohan in the bathroom of a Flying J, and boy did it get that bump. Queen Macherie is basically a tankier Earth version of More the Merrier, which is really the simplest way of putting it. Earth accounts will really want to take a big ol' bite of some Macherie to pair with Oberon and Noctis. Any other element, you can probably wait it out. Lastly, we have the Earth Vision card and Esper Sheratan. Earth doesn't particularly have trouble with evasion, but 25 accuracy is great since Macherie only has an increased hit chance and no guaranteed hits. 50% magic, again, you could get from Ramu. 10% slash resist, that's pretty minimal. The only way I think I'd chase this card is if you're planning on running at least 2 of Queen Macherie, Luelle, or Kilthe. If you're planning on running Mashi Q, Noctis, Oberon, you can probably have better primary vision cards. This card is non-limited as well, so you could also just do the step up for the card in Esper and then just slow build the rest of the card without spending more Visuur. And finally, we will have the Final Fantasy 13 collab right at the end of August and the beginning of September in Global. Hope will be the free unit, a light support boomerang user, a new weapon type for Global when this collab launches. Lightning is pretty much Esther Part 2 and appropriately the lightning element, snow, ice element, strike tank, and probably, in my opinion, the most interesting of the 3 units overall. At the same time, we should see the rerun of Final Fantasy Tactics, which nearly everybody has been waiting a long time for. Level 120 and some extra master abilities for these units. Leela, Agrius end up being slightly underwhelming. Orlandu got a nice buff to survivability and utility to pair with Esther and Cloud. Or Charlotte. Ramza's upgrade though is absolutely crazy. A huge AoE buff to attack, magic, and protect. We will cover the Final Fantasy 13 and Tactics units in more depth as we get closer to these events, but probably as free-to-play or budget players, it's a good idea to save up at least 40 or 45,000 in the bank come September, if not more, if you want multiple of these units from these collabs. And that's it, guys, all of the upcoming units and vision cards for the next 3 months in War of the Visions. Personally, I'm only pulling on Sadali's card and then saving up for both Lightning from Final Fantasy 13 and Revo Glaciella, since Lightning and Wind have become my strongest elements. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below and what you're saving up for, the teams that you're planning on running in the next couple of months. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. We will catch you in the next one.